Hello there and welcome to this reflection on the 17th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Let's allow the Lord to speak to us in these moments that we have together. We have some beautiful texts this Sunday, and I want to focus our minds especially on the first reading that we're going to hear at Mass on Sunday. It's from the first book of the Kings. I'll read it to you. The Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream and said, "Ask what you would like me to give you." Solomon replied, "Lord my God, you have made your servant king in succession to David my father, but I am a very young man, unskilled in leadership. Your servant finds himself in the midst of this people of yours that you have chosen, a people so many its numbers cannot be counted or reckoned. Give your servant a heart to understand how to discern between good and evil, for who could govern this people of yours that is so great?" It pleased the Lord that Solomon should have asked for this. "Since you have asked for this," the Lord said, "and not asked for long life for yourself or riches or the lives of your enemies, but have asked for a discerning judgment for yourself, here and now I do what you ask. I give you a heart, wise and shrewd, as none before you has had, and none will have after you." I want to take one line from that reading. I am a very young man, unskilled in leadership. We hear a lot at the moment about leadership. Maybe you, like me, have read a wonderful book by Father James Mallon called Divine Renovation. In that book, he speaks an awful lot about leadership and about vision. Those two things being the crux of how Father James understands the church should be missionary. So the vision is, where am I going? A leader is not just someone who is in charge or who makes decisions about things. A leader is someone who knows where they're going. That's what Solomon's asking the Lord for. Lord, I'm unskilled in knowing where to lead. It was really a beautiful reflection for me recently. I was celebrating Mass, and it came to the words of consecration. This is my body. This is my blood. And I had a deep, I'm not sure the word. It was just a deep connection with the Lord, specifically about the fact he was a young man when he said those words. Sometimes if we can turn the gospel into like a spiritual guide or like a book of maxims, and we forget the dynamic Lord who is reaching out to us from those pages. And I just became so aware that Jesus was not very much older than me when he ministered and when he said those words and when he gave his life. So he's not some elderly spiritual teacher. His leadership doesn't come through his years, but through where he's leading. He knows where he wants us to go. He knows he's pointing us always to the Father, to the Father, to the Father. His love is young. His shepherding of you and me is young. And he asks you and me to be young, to be children, regardless of our age, our biological age, to say, be young again. Only the children of God can enter the kingdom of heaven. And so we come back to that text. I am a very young man, unskilled in leadership. Therefore, Lord, I need a heart. I need you to show me where I'm going to lead these people. That's what must have melted the heart of God when he heard that request. How he how he loved Solomon's humility, how he loved Solomon saying to him, you lead, Lord, through me. You lead these people. And where am I leading them? You and I, by means of our baptism, by virtue of our baptism, were made priest, prophet, and king. Priest to sanctify this world, to make this world a holy place. Prophet to share the faith, to pass on what it is we've been entrusted with, to pass on the teachings of the church, to pass on the gospel itself. And king. What does a king do? A king rules, a king governs, a king leads. Your call and mine from our baptism is to lead. As a priest, I receive the sacrament of holy orders in which I lead in a different way. I lead the flock. I lead the flock as the shepherd that Jesus Christ is. Jesus chooses ordained ministers to lead his flock. But he chooses every one of us in our baptism to lead in the place we find ourselves. And so how often do I reflect? What am I leading? Where am I leading people? Where am I leading my friends? Where am I leading my family? Where am I leading the place I work in? Where am I leading my colleagues? And how do I do that? We lead in so many ways. We lead by, yes, our words, but more by our example. Those ageless words of St. Paul VI, Pope Paul VI, that he spoke in that letter Evangelii Nunciandi. Modern man listens to witnesses more than he listens to teachers. And if he listens to teachers, it's only because they're witnesses. I love that passage because it shows me I have to lead by my life. You have to as well. We have to lead. We have to be an example of leadership. We say to the Lord, I'm a very young man, I'm a very young woman, unskilled in how to do this, unskilled in how to lead my friends, my family, my colleagues, those I come in touch with. I don't know how to lead them to you, Lord. You have to give me a heart to know. And there's a clue in the gospel. 3 images in the gospel Jesus tells us about this Sunday, about the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. That keyword, hidden. The kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls, looking for. The kingdom of heaven is like a dragnet cast into the sea that brings in a haul of all kinds. Where are those fish? Hiding under the water. So what do those 3 images have in common? You have to go looking. You have to go looking for treasure. You have to go looking for pearls. You have to go looking for the fish in the sea. The leader is one who leads inwards. Where do we want to lead our friends? Where do we want to lead our family? Yes, to Jesus Christ. Where is Jesus Christ? Within. We have to lead within. We have to lead people into their interior life. And that means you and I have to have an interior life. We have the life we live with the Lord inside has to be what bubbles out. Has to. So we always have to be relying on, how's my prayer going? How's my time with the Lord? How's my reading of Scripture? How am I feeding my interior so that I can lead people deeper, lead people interiorly? As a priest, so much of my work, so much of my preaching must be about bringing people to the point where they are face to face with Jesus Christ, bringing them into personal relationship with him, therefore bringing them to prayer, bringing them interiorly. That's your role as well. Who are those friends of yours that you meet every day, that you want to connect with? Do you pray for them? Do you pray that the Lord will give you a knowledge of how to lead them deeper into who the Lord has made them to be, and therefore where the Lord wants to meet them. And that all relies on, how's my interior life going? So the way I'm going to lead other people, the way is by first looking at my own interior life. How well do I know Jesus Christ? How much energy am I spending on feeding that fire, on meeting with him, on praying, on going deeper, on allowing him to show me parts of myself maybe I don't want to look at, or maybe I don't know about, parts of my character that I don't know need conversion, but the Lord knows. How willing am I to let him take me deeper? That will make us profound leaders, because we'll be bringing people face to face with the Lord. And it won't just be theoretical. It won't just be, oh, read this book, read this book, read this book. Yes, read this book, because it's going to take you deeper. That's where we're leading people. And we don't know how. Solomon didn't know how. And yet the Lord was so delighted at his request. So when we go before the Lord and say, Lord, show me how to live that part of my baptism. Live that part of my baptism that says, I am a leader of faith. Lord, teach me. And he will. He will give us a heart to know how to speak to hearts.